Now, Behind the Law with Justin Clark and Allie Mack on ESPN 580 Orlando.
And welcome to the program. It's another edition of Behind the Law right here on ESPN 580 Orlando for a Monday, February 2019. My name is Justin Clark. Thank you for spending your weeknights here with us on our favorite sports radio station. Also, if you want to watch the show, you can follow us at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram. Also, don't forget to watch the TV show. It is Behind the Law on TV this Sunday and every Sunday, 10 a.m. on TV 27. Today on the show, we're going to do what's going on with Allie Mack. More about that in just a moment. We'll also play Stump the Clarkie in the second half hour. You have a chance to win my money. And it's a very special show with some special guests today, some young filmmakers coming up, Sage Croft and Molly Smith, the writers and directors of Dear America, just in time for the 1-year anniversary of the Parkland school shooting, if you can believe it's been a year. We're going to talk about their very, very important film that you can go watch on this very important anniversary. But before I begin, Brianna, someone is missing today, and her name is Allie McCarroll. Where is Allie Mack today?
Allie is running a fever.
A fever. You know my feeling on calling in sick the day of, right? Have I ever told you my philosophy on this?
You have.
What is it?
You don't believe it's the day of.
No. If any time that anyone calls in sick at my law firm here, the day of, I just automatically assume they're hungover. Close your ears. Because if you're that sick, you know you're that sick the night before. You don't just wake up like, oh, all of a sudden I've got the flu. Like, it's coming on. It's already should be coming on, right?
Yesterday was Sunday, so we don't really see Allie over the weekend.
Yeah, but she could have said, guys, you might want to get prepared without me for the program because I'm not feeling so hot. Nothing.
Well, she told us early this morning.
She was probably at the bar.
Okay.
It's highly likely. What do you think? You think she's really sick?
Well, honestly, she was complaining on Friday about her throat being scratchy.
Oh, she was?
She was.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was
Well, Allie Mack is not here. Allie Mack wishing you a speedy recovery. In her defense, I have had a lot of people come up to me lately saying they have the flu. So I think it's probably a legitimate thing. And in fact, if you do have the flu, please do stay away, Allie Mack. In fact, I'll see you next week. No need to, we got the show covered all week. Don't even come back in here. No reason. I don't want to get the flu, right?
No.
I mean, we sit pretty closely here together as well. So please, if you do have the flu, Allie Mack, we wish you well, and we'll see you next week. 2 weeks. Take 3 weeks if you want.
3 weeks.
No big deal. I don't want to get sick.
That's hilarious. And Molly's sitting at her mic, so I...
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that in a second, Mo. You might want to switch.
It's pretty great.
321-282-1055 if you want to call in with any questions. And also follow at Behind the Law Radio. You can watch the program right there. The beautiful Brianna is here. Hello, Brianna. How are you?
I'm well.
So
How are you?
You defended Allie Mack, but you know what you have to do for Allie Mack now.
I gotta do the news, right?
Someone's got to do it.
If it's on the internet, she's talking about it. It's What's Going On with Allie Mack.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, the beautiful Brianna?
What's going on? Of course, it was opening weekend for the Alliance of American Football League.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Well, I fell asleep at halftime.
You know who didn't forget?
Who?
The viewers.
Oh, you got some ratings? I'm very happy to hear this. Go ahead.
I am loving it because they outperformed the NBA in television ratings.
Wow.
Yeah, it was absolutely outrageous. So the Orlando Apollos also did win 40-60 to the Atlanta Legends. So that happened over the weekend. And a couple of the other teams did not do as well.
I think when I went to sleep, the Orlando Apollos were getting beat like 3-0 or something. I think they were getting beat originally, and then they just came back and whipped the...
Yeah, well, they started... You know what? Yeah. No, because they picked up at halftime. When they went to halftime, I checked in.
Yeah?
I normally check in if I'm not interested in the sport at the beginning, and then at halftime, and then the last quarter.
So I think on Friday you predicted this league would last a year. Are you going to extend that prediction, or are you going to stick with a year?
No, I think I said, 6 seasons? What did
you
I say?
said 6 seasons? Oh,
yeah,
I'm going to still say 1.
I said something outrageous.
I still think, no one wants to hear this, but I still think football is a dying sport. I think that generations turn over really, really quickly. And with all of the concussion stuff that's going on, I really do think, I already hear parents keeping their kids more out of football now. But, right now it's still the thing. I'm a big football guy, too. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm just saying, when you're a parent of, say, an 8-year-old, and you're like, well, should I try to get my son into soccer, or should we go play tackle football?
Yeah.
Most of the time, I think that parent's going to try to keep their son out of football because of all the press that we're getting from the concussion issues. But I don't know.
No, I completely agree. I think that makes sense.
What else is going on?
So, Memphis Express, also another AAF team, they had a 26-0 loss.
Okay.
So that was kind of embarrassing for their opening weekend. In other news, NFL draft.
Well,
So I guess the two to look out for, we have the Raiders, and the Patriots, because they have the first draft picks. So that seems pretty good. So I'm gonna keep an eye on there.
hold on. Look, normally I let stuff slide.
What?
Because I'm a trained broadcast professional, and you're supposed to just let stuff slide when
Like
people mess
what?
up. There's no way the Patriots are selecting second. They won the Super Bowl.
No, they have first round.
They select last. They won the Super Bowl. Anyway, the Patriots will have the last selection in the NFL draft in the first round because they won the Super Bowl. That's how it works. But what you did notice today is Kyler Murray announces he is going to play professional football, not baseball. He already signed a $5 million contract. He got a $5 million signing bonus with the Oakland Athletics, yet he's going to end up having to give that back, and he is committing himself to the National Football League. What a mistake. I mean, please, are you kidding me? I'd go take that baseball money all day, but a lot of people disagree with me.
Not a lot, can't be.
321-282-1055. It is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Brianna, what else?
New Orleans Saints hired a new special teams coach. Darren Rizzi
Okay.
is going to be their new coach. We should see how that looks out. I know that Allie's been beating over the Saints for a little bit, so I thought I'd throw that in there for her benefit.
Beautiful.
Because I know she's been following back up with that. In local news, Carol Burnett's coming to Orlando.
For what?
She's doing an evening of laughter and reflection at the Dr. Phillips Center on the
okay.
18th. So she'll be here in exactly a week.
I'm just glad Hamilton's gone. I got so sick of people telling me they're going to see Hamilton.
Do you know how much traffic Hamilton
Yeah,
created?
I couldn't even get a table at Crest the other night downtown with my daughter because there were so many people there for the Hamilton. I was like, what's going on downtown? They're like, oh, it's Hamilton every
It was like
night.
a big to-do.
I was like, okay.
No real...
I'm sure it was great. I'm just saying. I get annoyed. Everything annoys me after hearing about it too much.
Yeah, and Hamilton was talked about quite a bit.
What else is going on?
Obviously, it's Valentine's Day week.
Oh, when is that again?
It's this Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have plans?
No,
Oh, okay.
not really.
Okay,
But
okay.
shh.
Well-
Look, we'll do something.
It's a
You
surprise.
don't you think Valentine's Day is a little amateur hour, kind of like going out drinking on Halloween, or what's some other stuff? I mean, Valentine's Day, it's just a bad night to go out.
It kind of is.
Don't you think?
Yeah,
What if I
actually.
cook? What do you guys think? Let me know at Behind the Law Radio. What if I cook? Because I have 3 girls now, you know.
This is
I have
true.
Pilar and I have my 6-year-old Sophia and my 1-year-old. My 1-year-old's birthday is actually this Sunday. Mila. So I feel like maybe what if I just cooked at home, like something really fancy? Is that good enough or not good enough?
I think it's up to Pilar, honestly.
Okay. But I'm asking you right now.
No opinion. I think it's up to Pilar.
Okay,
I don't want
whatever.
to get the wrong answer. She's
Fine.
watching.
Okay. Okay.
But what did happen is the Orlando Weekly released the 15 Orlando restaurants where you can still get a table on Valentine's Day. There's a lot of places that are already sold out, no reservations. A restaurant that we're going to have on the show coming up this week, they actually are sold out for not only this week, but the next 3 weeks for
What is it?
Valentine's Day.
Who?
Better Than Sex Desserts.
Oh, where's that?
That's going to, it's over by White Wolf Cafe in Ivanhoe.
Really?
Yeah, it's
And they're coming
amazing.
on the show?
Tell
Are they? They're coming tomorrow?
No, they're coming on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
And
they're
are they
bringing
gonna?
desserts.
They're gonna bring a bunch
They
of
are.
desserts.
I'm so excited.
Excellent. Don't remind me not to eat lunch that day.
It's going to be the best.
What do you mean they're sold out?
They're sold out. It's a really boutique style restaurant. I think they only have like 8 tables.
But do you go pick up like takeout desserts, or you go have?
No,
like,
you go sit down. It's a
host-
really intimate, no pun intended,
Oh.
experience. it's really great, but they're sold out because obviously their philosophy is that every day is Valentine's Day.
So they're coming on this show Thursday with goodies.
with treats.
Beautiful. If you have any questions, give us a call, 321-282-1055. Excellent job, Brianna, today filling in for Allie Mack on what's going on. You know, it's about a year ago, as we sit here today, a very tragic event happened down in Broward County. You remember it was the Parkland school shooting. I believe 17 people were killed, and really made us question, again, what we can do to really figure out this school shooting issue. And then what do the people that are in high school really think about it now? Because at the end of the day, it's them that are there in school, scared. And we have two very, very special guests today. They are filmmakers, and they made a movie here recently in regards to this subject. It's called Dear America, a film by Generation Z. We're going to ask Sage Croft and Molly Smith questions about their film. We got 3 more segments ahead. You're listening to Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the program, ESPN 580 Orlando. It's Behind the Law. My name is Justin Clark. Thank you for spending your weeknights here with us on our favorite sports radio station. You can also follow at Behind the Law Radio and watch the show right there as well. Joined today by 2 very, very special guests. I've got Sage Croft over here to my right. To my left, it's Molly Smith. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us, Justin.
You got it. So tell me about this movie that you created. First of all, how 2 high school juniors get together and have the wherewithal to create a film yourselves is beyond me anyway. It made me feel like a total loser when I was in high school without any motivation whatsoever. But tell me a little bit about this film, Dear America. Go ahead, Sage.
Well, Molly, if you want to talk a little about it, she actually wrote the script originally. Yes. If you want to tell a little bit how you came up with it.
How does this come about?
So the script actually evolved from a poem that I wrote about after the Parkland shooting and the Pulse shooting. I was really frustrated with how everyone was responding and the lawmakers and the just upsetting incident and what we could try to do to change that. So I wrote this poem called Generation Z, which evolved into the script for Dear America.
How long did it take you to write the poem? Is this the kind of thing that you do, like the Beatles did in 10 minutes, or is this something that takes days, weeks at a time?
I actually wrote the poem in one night. But the script took a couple weeks with some revisions and peer edits.
Gotcha. And then how do you get Sage involved?
Well, there's a really close-knit community of filmmakers in Orlando. There aren't a lot of teens that do film. And so we got to know each other through the festival circuit, and we were both going to a festival in New York. So we decided to meet up and talk about film and what our projects were going to be. So I presented Dear America to him, and I said, hey, would you want to co-direct this with me? And we just started working from there.
Got it. So this sounds like a dumb question, but I understand creating a film takes artistic talent and directorial talent and things like that, but there's real logistics involved too. Like, I wouldn't know like where to go get a camera and things like this. How do you really have the equipment to make a film?
Well, the equipment, that's easy.
Really?
Yes. So Molly goes to Montverde Academy. And they have...
You play basketball. Isn't that the basketball
yeah,
place?
it's the basketball.
It is the basketball.
And they are super supportive, and they provide a lot of the equipment that they need. But I will say one thing about how difficult it is to direct a film. I actually believe that most people have the creative talent to do it, but people can't handle the problems. That's 90% of filmmaking, just dealing with issues. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's especially true in film.
Got it.
You know, your camera's going to break, your actors aren't going to show up on set. I mean, it's crazy. But,
especially in student filmmaking, it's just problem solving. Really, it is.
So tell me about Dear America. What is it about? How did this poem came to your head, obviously, but what is it really about? What's the meaning?
So once I read the script the very first time, and as soon as I read it, I knew 100% I'd be working on the project.
Yeah.
I just fell in love with it because this film, what it's really trying to do is promote civil discourse. So it talks about gun violence in our schools and our nation today because it's a very prevalent issue today. And I think people are becoming very desensitized to it too because it's so prevalent. So this film basically seeks to promote more conversation between the two sides because there's such polarity between left and right now. And I think that's most important for coming up because everyone can agree that this is an important issue. Yeah. The solution is what we need to come up with. So I think if we can create more discussion, then we can find a solution.
Do you think that when you're in high school or middle school, whatever, and you're really the ones that are involved? I mean, it's you that are going to school every day who maybe it's one of your classmates who would come in with a gun and do this sort of thing. Yet you hear these adults on the right or the left arguing all the time, bickering, can't agree on anything. Does it get a little annoying from your perspective as a high school student?
Absolutely.
For sure.
It's disappointing to see how the adults have dealt with this, but we're moving in a great direction. We're starting to listen to some of the teenagers that have spoken out after Parkland. March for Our Lives has grown into a fantastic organization, and I really think that we're moving in the direction of starting to listen to what Generation Z has to say about this issue that really affects them uniquely.
Let me ask you this question, a little off subject, I guess, but we had someone in here the other day who was a spokesperson for Seminole County Public Schools because they did this Code Red drill, and yet, they weren't there were some mistakes made, let's say, and then some of the students at Lake Brantley really thought that there was an active shooter. Mistakes were made, on both sides, whatever. I mean, what do you think as students in high school? Do you think that we should do any real-life drills like that, or is that going a little too far?
Well, I think there's a balance to it because I think it does need to be addressed, and we need to have protocols for when these kind of situations do happen because the chaos that happened at Parkland was because there was no organization. So, for example, at my school in OCPS, we now have a new policy where if a fire alarm is pulled, we don't leave our classrooms until they actually confirm that it's a real fire drill or it's actually been pulled. It's a real situation because of what happened at Parkland.
Right.
So I think it's good that we're starting to do these drills, but they do get taken to the extreme. I mean, even at my school, we had a situation where we did lockdown. We thought we had an active shooter on campus, and basically chaos ensued, and we all ran out and jumped in our cars and drove off.
And did they mean to do that? Did they mean to make you think there was an active shooter?
Well, they thought there was thought there was someone who had a weapon on campus.
Oh, so this wasn't a drill. They actually thought it was happening.
But there was not. But we thought basically someone slammed a chair, and we thought a gunshot went off.
Right.
That's how tensions get so high, especially when people get so stressed out.
No doubt about it. It's Justin Clark, Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, talking to Sage Croft and Molly Smith, two filmmakers here locally. They've made a film called Dear America. Great film, by the way, guys. I mean, really, really touching. Let's say that I'm listening or watching Behind the Law right now, and I want to go check this film out right now. How do I watch?
Well, you can watch our film on YouTube by searching Dear America, a film by Generation Z. And you can also visit our Facebook page at Gen Z Speaks, where you can see updates about our interviews, the poster, where it's going to be screening, and also it's going to be screening at the Enzion Theater February 23rd at 11
sweet.
a.m.
Yep.
All right, it's February 23rd,
Yes.
11 a.m.?
Yes.
What day of the week is that, do you know?
That is a Saturday.
Oh, you better send me an invite. I want to go see that one. That would be great. Enzion's great, by the way. Have you ever
Oh,
been
we
there?
love it. Yeah,
You
yeah.
love that
yeah,
place?
it's fantastic.
So Generation Z is what you guys are?
Yes. that would be
Okay.
our
What am
generation.
I, you think? I'm 39. Brianna, do you know what I am?
I think you're a millennial still.
I'm a millennial?
Millennial?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right
What,
on,
what do you
right
think your
on the
dad
edge.
is? I'm just kidding. I think I'm on the edge of
I think he's-
millennial or
I think
X.
he's senior.
He's senior?
citizen.
Oh, I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's there yet at all. All right, so that's how to watch. Who should watch? I mean, who would you really recommend to go watch this movie?
Well, I think this film's for everyone. I think such an important part of this film is creating more discussion between the generations too. And that was one of the great part of the reactions from our film, is that a lot of people were talking about how watching this film sparked them to talk to their child, or a grandparent talking to their grandkid about what they face every day. Because we face definitely some unique issues as a generation, where not only are we dealing with the pressures of schooling and education, but now we have this X factor of that, can gun violence happen at my school? So I think it truly is for everyone.
Now, let me ask you. I'll ask you both, but we'll start with you, Molly Smith. You've made a movie now, right? From your idea one night, from a poem that you wrote. Now we have a movie that's inspiring people across America. Has it inspired you to really embark on a career in filmmaking?
Absolutely. Film has been a passion of mine for a couple years now. As a freshman in high school, I started making films. This is about my fourth or fifth film. I absolutely want to go to film school, and I love screenwriting, so I'm probably going to end up in screenwriting somehow.
Yeah.
But I love it.
And what kind of schools are good for what you want to do?
Well, there's lots of great universities that have amazing film programs. As we go into the end of junior year, we're looking at all of those schools, taking the SAT, studying a lot. But FSU has a fantastic film program
Really?
that we've been looking at for sure. There's
sure, yeah.
a lot of great California schools, so there's lots of options.
Got it. What about you? I know you were a Karate Kid before, right? You were big into martial
Yes,
arts,
I
weren't
still
you?
am. Yeah, I've been an MMA fighter for years.
Okay.
It's actually kind of how I got into film.
Oh.
I started doing some martial arts film. So I started doing martial arts films. I started loving the acting side of it. I'm actually doing a martial arts film, Martial Arts Kid 2 Payback, soon. I'll be the antagonist in that, so it'll
Yeah.
be a very fun film.
Where do you film something like that? Here?
Well, actually kind of all over.
Yeah.
Different states offer different tax breaks on it. So film some in California, actually a lot of shooting in Georgia too, Louisiana, places like that. Florida has kind of gotten rid of a lot of their tax breaks for films, so a lot of the industry has moved out of here.
Yeah. What I heard was they shoot a lot of movies based in Florida in Georgia for the tax breaks and make it look like they're in Florida.
Oh yeah,
right?
they'll shoot a couple B-roll on the beach, and then they move the whole crew up to Georgia.
Yeah, that's what
Yep.
I've heard.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What do you think about tax breaks for film here in Florida?
I think it is imperative that we start bringing that back to Florida, because we had a strong industry moving into Florida when
Yeah.
we started having tax breaks. You started having large studio lots being built here to prepare, because they said Orlando was going to come, the Hollywood of the East kind of thing. It was set up to be that way.
Right.
But then lawmakers started repealing that, and you instantly saw industry die here. And the very few shows that were still shooting here in South Florida have also moved out just in the past year.
Have you guys tried to do the agent thing yet, or anything, or trust an agent?
Well,
Have you had
I've
to hire an agent? Talk
I've
to
had
agents?
an agent for film and TV acting.
Yeah.
But I've kind of moved away from acting, and I really enjoy writing and directing more. So I have a manager, but I mainly use that for acting as well. So kind of just doing it myself. My mom's kind of my
Right.
momager.
Yeah, my dad's my agent manager.
Beautiful.
He does it all.
Hey, stick around. We're gonna play Stump the Clark. You guys mind to play? You'll probably
yeah, we're
win
right.
because it'll be something about film, I'm sure, and I won't know any of the answers. So you'll probably be victorious, and you will win Clarky's money. Stump the Clarkies right ahead. Also, more of an interview with the directors, writers of Dear America, Sage Croft and Molly Smith. All right on the other side of this break. It is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Molly can't hear, so she doesn't know why you're dancing right now, I think.
Oh, I see.
321-282-1055. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, joined by special guest Sage Croft and Molly Smith, filmmakers and the creators of Dear America film you're going to want to check out. We'll tell you how in just a minute. But now it's time to play Stump the Clarkie. I'm going to get beat by high school people. I know I'm going to get beaten here. I know it. But I guess we're going to find out here soon enough.
All right, and now it's time for Stump the Clarkie. Come on, Clarkie. We need you to get over here. We got some great trivia questions we want you to answer. Come on, Clarkie. Get over here.
Thank you, Fulton Alum. Brianna, filling in today for Allie Mack very admirably. What is the category today?
Well, if you can imagine, it's going to be filmed.
Oh, shocker.
It's not looking good for you
No,
right now.
I know it's not. Absolutely going to lose. I should quit.
Pretty exciting.
But I guess we're going to do it. Let's play this game, Brianna.
Absolutely. Our guests and co-hosts are going to write their answers down on their board. If you're following along on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and type your answer in right there. And question number 1 is, what year was the first movie shot in color?
Okay. You guys should know this. I mean, this should be in your textbooks.
Right.
Definitely.
What year
Easy.
was the first movie shot in color?
I think your dad was like 10 then.
Oh, no.
321-282-1055. Watch at Behind the Law Radio. Stump the Clarkie.
I'm not helping you at all.
I don't know.
Question number 2. The first ever TV commercial was advertising.
I like that you guys don't feel good about that, though. Let
No,
me tell
we
you.
do not.
I like the blank stares.
the size of despair.
Yeah, I like the blank stares. Sorry, Brianna. Go ahead. Question 2.
It's encouraging. The first ever TV commercial was advertising a Bulvoa, was for Bulvoa Watch Company. How much did that TV spot cost?
To produce, to air.
To air.
Both.
To produce and air.
Yeah. Unfair question.
This is big difference.
I guess to air. Well, to air it.
Wait, the first one? First movie? Wait,
First
first commercial
commercial
ever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on.
Dang.
I know. I had to throw Justin a bone.
Did they have commercials?
What, you're going to
at
throw me a bone?
Nickelodeon's?
Oh, because it's advertising? Yeah, but see, I don't even know if you're talking about production or the actual cost of the airtime.
Cost to air it.
Is this in the money of that time period? Is it
Who
modern?
knows?
Of
That's
course,
what
it's
I'm
in the
saying.
money of that time. What other time period?
Yeah,
Well,
are we
I
gonna
don't know if
convert?
Let me ask you that.
Adjusted
We're
for
gonna convert it for
inflation.
2005.
inflation.
It's gonna be great.
All
ready.
right.
I'm
Question number 3 in Stump the Clarkie for a Monday night, ESPN 580 Orlando. Go ahead.
What year was the first Academy Awards?
Ooh,
Wow, I'm just failing all these
19,
straight,
19, 100 something edition.
Carry the one, Justin. Carry the one.
I don't even know what year it is right now.
I know.
It's February.
Dang.
It's like an Allie Mack answer.
Wow. What is wrong with you?
I know.
I'm kind of scared for these answers.
Oh, I hope she didn't hear that.
I think we need to go back and study some.
I know,
film history.
right?
I'm very disappointed in Montverde Academy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. They've produced 2 very, very, very fine people here. All right, question number 4 for Stump the Clarkie. Film edition. Go ahead.
And question number 4. The oldest continually open theater is located in Washington, Iowa.
What?
How old is that theater?
Like in years, or what year was it opened? What do you mean to do? How many years old is it?
How many years
Okay,
old is
all right,
it?
How many
Where
years
in the
old?
world?
Okay. It's 2019 now, so
Allie Mack is
That'd be-
playing from home.
Okay, good.
She's throwing her answers in. She's pretty excited.
I know she's Googling.
Oh. Well, hang on
She's
now.
Googling. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark, joined today by the beautiful Brianna. Allie Mack is homesick, also special guest today. Playing along, Stump the Clarkie with us, it's Sage Croft and Molly Smith, the writers and directors of Dear America. All right, so we got them all written down here.
Oh, God.
Let's,
Here we go.
Let's score this game. Brianna, tough one. That was a tough one for me, but, I really wasn't expecting the blank stares that I got from Sage and Molly, so I feel like I have a shot here. Probably not, but go
the
ahead.
film professionals, I don't know.
Let's score
We'll
this
see.
game, Brianna. Go ahead. What is question number 1?
What year was the first movie shot in color?
I'll go first on this one. I think I'm probably way off. I went 1958. 1958. Let's go.
Okay.
Molly Smith, what do you have?
1939.
1939. She looked a little more
Interesting.
confident than I
What do
liked
you
on
think?
that answer. Go ahead.
I said 1948. I'm right in the middle there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to lose probably pretty badly. What was the right answer, Brianna?
The right answer is 1918.
In
Molly,
color.
Molly actually hit it on the head. 1939, Wizard of Oz came out, and that's actually the first movie in Technicolor.
She got it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll go 1 Molly. That's 0 for Justin Clark. Sage Croft also with 0. Let's continue scoring this game. Hold on one second, Molly. Hold on one second. That's for you.
You ready to win some money, Molly?
All right.
Yeah, little
You
check
got some
sound
Panera
effect.
money coming your way, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Great answer. That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
All right. Question number 2 and Stump the Clarky for a Monday night. Go ahead.
The first ever TV commercial. How much did it
Dang, I'm
cost?
off. I'm way
Let's
off.
go. Well, since he's so way off, let's go to Sage Croft on this for the first answer. Go ahead.
Well, I'm assuming it was in that time period. You know how much it was
Uh-huh.
worth. I'm gonna go with 80,000.
$80,000.
I'm gonna go.
I think
probably-
that might
Look
be
at
a
her
little
face.
I'm a little
Look at
low.
Molly's face.
I think I'm a little low there.
She's like, that's a lot for now. What do you?
I feel really bad about my answer
Molly
now.
Smith, let's go. Let's go with you second. What did you say?
Say it.
$50.
I think that's
$50.
a fantastically terrific answer. Justin Clark also went with $50.
$50.
What is the correct answer?
What? The correct answer is $9.
Yeah, exactly right.
Closer than you.
Yeah. So I think
Okay. I was slightly off.
Great answer. That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
So we're gonna give Molly and Justin a point on that one. So it is 2-1-0 with 2 questions ahead.
I'm off.
In Stump the Clarky. What is question 3, Brianna?
Question number 3. What year was the first Oscars?
I think I don't know the answer to this, but let's go with Molly Smith first. Molly, what did you have?
All right, I said 1929.
Okay, probably a pretty good answer.
That's pretty good.
I think I screwed this one up. Sage Croft, what do you have?
I have 1942.
I went with 1909.
Oh.
Because I thought we were in like already the 100th Oscars, but I think it's the 90th.
No,
Isn't
the
it?
first films were like 10.
Whatever. Stop judging.
17.
All right, what's the right answer, Brianna?
1938.
Ooh, 1938.
Close.
That
You are
makes
close.
that gives Sage the point, right?
Who gets
You
the
said
point?
42?
Yeah.
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 That's
Sage. So you're
close.
back on the
pretty
board.
close.
So it's
Okay.
Molly has 2, Sage has 1, Justin Clark has 1, and we're coming down to the final answer today on Stump the Clarky. Final question. Go ahead, Brianna. What was it?
The oldest continually open theater is in Washington, Iowa. How old is that theater?
I'll go first on this because I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong because I went with 127 years, but with what you guys are telling me about film, I mean, it could have been like a Shakespeare production. It didn't have to be
Yeah,
a
it
movie.
could've
movie.
Oh.
So I'm going to say
I didn't think about
127 years. Molly Smith, what do you have?
I said 92 years.
92 years. Great
That's a good
answer.
answer.
Sage
Got
Croft,
105.
105. What is the right answer?
Man, point goes to Clarky, 122.
Oh,
wow.
that's good.
That's impressive.
Oh, Molly, you and I tied. Thanks for playing.
right.
Sage, I'm sorry. You can come back and play
It's
again.
okay.
Next film, we're going to get you back in here, and we'll definitely play again. How was that?
It's good. Good.
I did
Great
better than
answer.
I
That's the
would.
way to go. That's the way to go.
Thank you very much. That was fun, though, right?
That was good.
You guys did pretty
great.
well.
Okay, folks, thank you so much for being with us. Clarky, let's get out of here, buddy. My stomach thinks my throat's cut. I'm starving.
But Brianna, you didn't think I had any shot on that one. Just admit it.
Honestly, I didn't.
Did you think I had a shot?
I didn't know what was going on with you.
No shot whatsoever.
eraser.
No hints either, and you still somehow.
Well, it is a very, very special week, ladies and gentlemen. If you can believe it, it's been 1 year, almost exactly a year, since that terrible shooting that took the lives of 17 people down in Parkland at Stoneman Douglas High School. And we have 2 very special guests today, Sage Croft, Molly Smith. They are the creators of a new film called Dear America. We're going to talk about that for one more segment here. But one more time, guys, let's say that during the break someone wants to go check out the movie. How do they watch?
They can visit YouTube and type in Dear America, a film by Generation Z. It will be the first film that comes up. You can watch our film there, or you can check out our Facebook page, Gen Z Speaks, where you can watch the film and see updates about where it's screening.
One final segment ahead of Behind the Law, right on the other side of this break. It is ESPN 580 Orlando.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
One final segment ahead of Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, for a Monday night here in early February on a beautiful Central Florida evening. The rest of the country, frigid, snowing, terrible. That's why we live here, I think, Brianna, right?
Honestly, yeah.
And I know that we actually have a very, very special event coming up soon. You want me to mention on the air here, right? Can you please tell us about it? What is this? What is this event we have, and who's invited?
Everyone. We have the Under One Roof Expo coming up.
What? What is that?
Yeah, it's going to be all of our companies together under one roof.
Beautiful. So how do we get tickets? How do we go?
Tickets are going to be on Eventbrite. The date is going to be Thursday, March 28th from 6 to 9 at Ace Cafe. It's in downtown. I think it's one of the only downtown venues with like parking right there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much, Brianna. Joined today by two very special guests. One is a student at Windermere High School, the other student at Montverde Academy, and they are filmmakers and have made a very, very special film that's very timely for this week as well. It's Sage Croft. It's Molly Smith, the director and writer of Dear America. Tell me about this film, guys. One more time. Really describe this film for our audience.
Well, this is a film that we created based on the fears and anxieties we've seen in our friends and our community after these mass shooting attacks. And it's a way for us to start conversations and get people talking about how we can solve this problem.
Let me ask you this question, too. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but what do you think of metal detectors in our schools?
Well, personally, we actually do have random metal detector searches now at our schools.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually something that's being implemented now. I find that probably, although the intent is good to be able to try to curb these kind of events, I don't believe that's probably that effective because it's in such limited capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's moving in the right direction. At least we're trying to spark some way to help curb this best we can. What
do you guys think? Do you have any sort of ideas, analysis of what really can be done to stop shootings like this? I mean, do you guys talk about this in school? I mean, do you have any ideas? Because I don't know. I quite frankly don't know.
You know, I think a lot of America feels the same way. It's because it's a very complex issue. And I think most important to us, as far as what we want to get across, is that we need to spark more discussion between people, because now our lawmakers and our politicians and our influencers and our social media and everyone has such stark opinions, and there's no compromise between the two sides. So I think really the solution is to come together and hear both sides and listen to all the generations too.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree on that, and I think that we've given a lot of examples of solutions that we think are possible, but really we're 17. We don't have all the answers, and a lot of the adults don't have all the answers either. And it's really going to take us listening to each other, listening to the younger generations, and allowing them to explain the problem from their perspective as well, because they're extremely affected.
I was a pretty, cool dude in high school or whatever, played sports. I didn't really have to worry about anyone picking on me or bullying me, so to speak. So, thank God I didn't. But then I remember when I was a senior, some of my friends who were also seniors, and I would walk down the hall, and they were giving the little freshmen a hard time, or, putting the lock through their belt buckle and attaching them to the locker, that sort of thing. And it always really upset me. I didn't like it. You could say, oh, you put in your time, and they're going to put in their time type of thing. But I never liked it at all, and I would always yell at my friends or, other seniors, like, dude, leave this guy alone. It's ridiculous. That was just how I was. But bullying, I imagine, is still a problem in high schools in America, is it not?
Actually, Justin, I would actually have to disagree with you there.
Please do.
I've gone to a couple public schools as far as I had to move schools, and honestly, I think bullying has been curbed so much.
Really?
Over time. Yeah, I really think that. Schools have done a great job implementing. Where honestly, not only the schools are doing a great job implementing it, but students really just won't put up with it. People really speak out against it. I really say it's moved in a positive direction.
Yeah, I would also agree. I mean, I go to a private school, but it's a very diverse private school. It's an international boarding school. We have kids from all over the world, so a lot of different perspectives, different religions, different ethnic backgrounds, and everyone gets along relatively well. The school does a great job with keeping everybody happy, and we're really more like a family than anything else.
I'm so happy to hear that. Brianna, are you shocked by that or what?
Not really. No.
No. See, I like this. I didn't know this. This is great.
Sure.
This is great news. And what do you think, if you had to put your finger on it, what do you think really has caused? Because bullying was definitely a problem maybe a decade ago.
For sure.
It was definitely a problem. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think? Any ideas on why it's gotten better?
I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah.
But I think people over the last generation have become a lot more understanding and starting to... I think people are starting to become open to a lot of different kind of viewpoints now.
Right.
I think people are really trying to move in the right direction towards treating people better for humanity as a whole, I think.
Got it. It is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, Justin Clark, the beautiful Brianna. We're talking to Sage Croft and Molly Smith, the writer, director of Dear America. What a great film, guys, first of all. How long did it take you to really put this together from beginning to end?
Ooh.
Probably about 6 months from writing to finishing the final edit.
So it's not something that happens in a couple of weeks. I mean, these things take some time.
No.
I mean, how do you find time to play sports, to go to school, and do this on the side?
Well, it's a lot of late nights.
Yeah.
It's a lot of nights where maybe we were doing our homework really early in the morning. But, it's worth it for us. We really care about these kind of issues. And I think it's important to be involved in a lot of things. So I am on the varsity wrestling team. I have really... intense academic classes, but we're passionate about it, so we're willing to put in the time to make it happen.
Where did you film most of those?
We shot the whole thing at Montverde Academy.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And they were
On
totally
campus.
cool with it. They're like,
They were extremely supportive. They helped us put it. It's a boarding school, so it's open on the weekends. They have people there, but we had a security guard helping us get into all the buildings, and they were super supportive and really helped make it possible.
Yeah. And does this cost? I mean, do you end up having to put your own money in, or do you have to raise money, or is this something that's done completely at everyone's time?
Normally you have to at least put a little bit of money into it, but with student films, you have to figure out how to make it happen, right? You have to figure, you beg, borrow, steal kind of thing. But one thing that was great about this project is that the entire cast and crew were all teenagers. And so there was a lot of community outreach for people wanting to get involved with this project. People were saying, I want to put my time into this. I want to be an actor in this. I want to be part of the crew, where we actually had a lot of support because it was such a passionate issue for us.
Yeah, and we didn't have to pay for equipment because the school owned it. and we didn't have to pay for location because it was at the school.
Yeah.
So it just worked out. We were able to do it without having to put any of our own money into it. So
where do you actually sit down and edit something like this? I mean, where does this all take place?
There's an editing lab at my school in our broadcasting room. So I've got a little station in the back, and there's a MacBook back there. I just edit on Premiere and put it all together. I do a lot of work at home, too. I have to bring the project back and forth to have time to work on it, but we made it possible.
At what point, or where were you sitting, and were you together when you put the final touches on this thing and said, this is the final product?
Well, it's kind of funny. We're actually still changing it even today.
No,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, we just cut down to
yeah.
we just cut down to a finished 2-minute version. I think that's one of the great things about film is that it's never really finished. You just kind of say, this is good enough. You know, it was great seeing the process of it and finding all the cuts and, you know, oh, this is looking great, this is looking good. Because first time you see it, the first cut of it, you're like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why we did
I
this.
think the first cut, I was like, I sent it to you over WeTransfer, and I was like, here it is. It's pretty bad.
I was like, oh no, this is not
That was
good.
not my vision?
Yes. But you know, it's great. It's one of the great things about film is working through the issues, making it to the best of your vision. It's really a great process.
Yeah.
Tell me one more time, how do I go watch this film? Dear America, a film by Generation Z, Sage Croft, Molly Smith, how do I watch?
You can go to YouTube and look up Dear America, a film by Generation Z. It'll be the first one that pops up, and you can watch our film there, or visit our Facebook, Gen Z Speaks, where you can see updates about the film and watch the film.
Molly Smith, next project for you?
I'm going to be working on a narrative film about the effects of invasive technology on teenagers.
What? I didn't even, what does narrative mean? Brianna and I are already confused. I'm just
It's
kidding.
going to be like a dystopian.
Oh, okay. Sage Croft, next step for you?
I'm thinking working on a documentary. It's a little interesting.
Yeah?
It's about some alternative fact groups, such as anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, and kind of what are these groups really like? What draws people to these groups? What causes these people to reject the mainstream? In the age of information, what's allowed it to become the age of disinformation?
Got it. You need to get some of that Netflix money somehow.
We're
That's
hoping
what we
so,
need.
right?
I'll be
Yeah.
your agent if we can get some of that Netflix money.
Yeah,
That's
let's
what
do
I'm
it.
talking about. Well, excellent job. Excellent film. Please go check it out. Dear America, very important film by 2 local filmmakers. You're going to love it, and you're going to hear their names here in the future quite a bit, I think. And you're welcome
Thank
to
you.
come
We
back on
hope
this
so.
show anytime, guys. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
For the beautiful Brianna, that was Sage Croft, and that was Molly Smith. Thanks for joining us today. Brianna, I don't know much, but I do know one little tiny thing.
What's that?
I will see you right back here tomorrow night, ESPN 580 Orlando.